Pylon wall being continued at that natural expansion. Here come the vultures to stop this base from doing anything. Fantasy send his vultures up. That will snipe the probe, keep the probe from building the Nexus anytime soon. Not to mention the mines are going to stop that. But the observatory acting as part of the wall at the natural expansion definitely needs those observers soon, because Fantasy could cause all kinds of havoc with a vulture drop, mines next to gateways, something like that. So he needs observers quickly. And he might try to micro against those mines at the 12 o'clock instead of waiting. But here comes a shuttle, try to get some harassment. Dropping the Reaver. Here comes the Reaver. Getting close, gets one hit, one Scarab on that tank. Another Scarab on another tank, but doesn't manage to take down any of them. I got the tanks down the yellow, and Fantasy might end up repairing those to protect himself a bit. Yeah, micro against the mines, so the Dragoons cleared the way for the Nexus to come down at the 12 o'clock. But of course, I'm not sure if many knows about the other mine that's at that 12 o'clock. Fantasy could definitely use that to his advantage later. A dormant mine that many doesn't know about, but hopefully many at least goes in there with an observer and make sure that he clears all the mines. Oh, you can see the effectiveness of the pylon wall, the natural, keeps out those encroaching vultures as they try to sneak by and get some more probe kills. Alright, let's see, we've got the speedy shuttles already, speed upgraded shuttles. Going to try to move around, get some more harassment, I think, with the Reavers. And that shuttle is only at yellow health, so it's not like it's red or anything. Make it too risky to do another drop. Alright, so let's see if Mini drops right now with this shuttle. Looks like he was hovering around, scouting inside the main, making sure he can get close enough to those tanks. He gets a Scarab on the SCV, but the SCV survives the Scarab. A Zealot dropped on top of the SCV, so that was a Zealot bomb on an SCV, which is interesting. So some surprisingly confident play here from Mini already. Mini is transferring over with his probes. This could be probe genocide, falling right into Fantasy's trap. So probes gotta get out of there. The Dragoons trying to fend off and trap the vultures. Actually, a fairly nice trap from Mini. He corners the vultures, takes down most of them. I think only a couple got away after that attack, but transferred over a little bit too soon, and it didn't have any scouting on what was going on the high ground area. Ooh, mine drag. So got to get that observer out first, and then move up with the Dragoons. It's surprising how many Protoss players don't do that. But okay, third base up and mining now for Mini. Another pylon wall from him on top of that ramp. So if there's a vulture drop or anything up at that 12 o'clock, he's going to have to use his own shuttle to defend against it, with the full pylon wall there and everything. But there's the Citadel of Vadun I saw for Mini, working his way up in tech as Fantasy is floating over with another base to take that mineral only, right outside of the natural expansion. Okay, Mini looking extremely focused on this game. We need focus. Okay. Let's see, observers checking out the mine line right next to that mineral only base. That base will be the easiest to take down as long as he can clear the mines away. If he clears the mines away, he can just send in a couple of Zealots at a time, drop some Zealots on top of the tanks that are at that position, and get those SCVs to run back fairly quickly. But so far, it looks like Fantasy is establishing a nice line of tanks. Oh, he scans, gets rid of the Observer with the Marines out front. So that's kind of good. 2 speed shuttles coming in to drop on top of these tanks. The Reavers that drop right there. Both go down. It's a bit too risky. I admire his spirit, but I think it was a bit too risky. Play mine direct. Oh, almost a huge mine taken down. You could see that Fantasy was kind of panicking there for a second. He snipes his own mine to protect himself. He's like, okay, I don't want that to happen again. That was kind of scary. So that was almost a devastating mine. It would have just destroyed probably 6 or 7 tanks that were all clumped up in that one spot. So that's kind of a ridiculous game already. And I really like Mini's aggressive play. He is going all out in this game. He knows he needs to go all out to beat a player like Fantasy. So he's like, screw it, I'm going to do whatever. dropping the Reavers right into the fray. But they both went down before even firing any Scarabs, I think. So not quite worth it there with that attack. Might want to play a bit more conservatively for a while and defend its own bases against any pushes coming from Fantasy. Soon, the mines, the observers, they switch into the first-person view as soon as those mines are about to go off. So I'm actually not sure if they both hit the Dragoons. But you can tell that Fantasy was looking at that very moment. He was probably like, come on, hit the mines, hit the mines, hit the mines. And now he's getting a nice surround. Look at this micro, excellent Vulture micro from Fantasy to surround, lay the mines right in front of the Dragoons, trapping them. This is just expert play right here from Fantasy. Look at this, cleaning up those Dragoons. You got a few more Dragoons left getting some mine clearing up at the 12 o'clock. But that took a big chunk out of Mini's army. You can tell he's a bit flustered about that. Let's see. Look at Mini's base bit. He's moving out with another shuttle. It's always fun to see those two-speed shuttles just rolling in. And you're like, man, screw it. He's gonna drop everything. I don't care. And that is kind of Mini's philosophy in this game, I think. He's being chased back now by Fantasy. Fantasy, very aggressive push towards this natural expansion. With the pylon wall there, it's going to make it more difficult for troops to flood out and really tackle these tanks. Yeah, the Zealots just can't get close enough to the huge tank line. So Fantasy is going to get a massive amount of damage done at this natural expansion. Probably going to take out the natural as Mini is grouping up more troops. Yeah, Fantasy sniped so many Dragoons with those Vultures. Look at those tanks. I don't know how Fantasy does this sometimes. This huge amount of tanks just coming out of nowhere. Working their way into the main to snipe all the critical tech buildings. Nice line of tanks, too. They're pretty well spaced out. He unsieges them at just the right time. Oh, GG from Mini. Just kind of got steamrolled there at the end. Yeah, losing those two Reavers in that big attack, that was kind of critical. You can't just lose Reavers like that without doing any Scarab damage with them. But that's a pretty fun game to say the least. I look forward to the rest of Mini's games in this group, because I want to see what he does next. Okay, let's move on to Group C now.